And we're live.
And we're live.
We're live.
And boy, that jumped up fast. I'm used to more of a delay.
We are.
And we are live. It is Friday the 13th in the great land of November 2020. And I'm a little punch drunk, but we're here for another AP showcase. And tonight's a very special episode. If
Very
the
special.
power goes out and we all die screaming in the background, don't be surprised. Call the police. James from 1D Forecast here to run a game for us.
I love their music.
How you doing?
Hello,
sir?
everyone.
This has been a little bit planning because James has so much time in his life, and he was like he wrote me one day, you know what, I'm kicking around, I got nothing to do with my time,
Bored.
I'm so bored.
I have nothing to do.
Would you like maybe I could run a game for you this next 2, 3, 4 months from now?
Next year.
Would that be cool?
Complete with custom character sheet.
So tonight's game is going to be our system of choice for tonight is Cortex Prime, which we locally have not I don't think any of us had a chance to play yet in our local group. So that'll be really fun. We do like seeing new systems. That's been kind of the impetus behind this whole thing. So without any further ado or any more bad jokes, I'm going to go and hand it over to James.
I'll be plenty of bad jokes.
Well, from me, won't be another bad joke the rest of the night. I promise.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I said it with a straight face. James, let us know what's going on. Tell us about the game.
All right. So tonight we are playing Musketeers of the Guard. The idea came after I was like, hey, Eric, I want to run some Cortex. And he's like, hey, let's do this. And so Cortex has a thing called...
I don't think you're role-playing me very well.
I gotta do the voice.
I'm not going to even try.
I'm boomier. I'm boomier.
All right. Well, you also done radio for a long time.
No, I haven't done radio for a long time. That's my problem. I'm desperate for attention. So he contacts me one day and says, hey, would you mind rolling some dice for me?
And he's like, what? Okay. So he rolls he rolls 3 times on this chart, and it's basically pick 3 and add Cortex. So he rolled espionage, horror, and swashbuckling. So we went back and forth on a couple different ideas, maybe like space, like I don't know, like a traveler type game or something similar, and then got down to pirates and Musketeers. Like, you know what? I haven't got to play Musketeers, so let's do Musketeers. That's true. So I sat down with Cortex Prime, and it's a very modular game. So there are hundreds of different choices that you can make by switching dials, adding in different types of what are called prime sets. And the prime sets are what actually help you build dice pools so that you can roll against opposition and get, do the thing and get what you want. So that's basically the core of Cortex, is that it is a dice pool game. The prime sets that I went with are attributes such as courage, faith, guile, reason, and vigor. Also, let's see here.
He's from the East Coast, guys. Don't give him weird looks.
Yes, I am.
It's vigor. Everybody's looking like, what does that mean?
What'd I say? Vigor?
Yeah, definitely not Latin.
So when you say that,
it is vigor. Yeah.
When you say that, were you picking attributes kind of out of a hat for this? I mean, where there's like
actually
to pick from or what?
No. Inside the Cortex book, this beautiful book,
which is from their last Kickstarter, which happened 87 years ago, and we're still
87 years ago, and they finally started releasing stuff this year.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
It is a pretty book.
I got in on that one. I got in on that one, but all I got was the wood carvings, so I didn't get the hardbound.
Well, right now you can buy everything. You can buy the PDF. You can buy hardcover book through Atlas Games. You can buy the PDF at Cortex cortexroleplaying.com or cortexrpg.com. So
two out of 3 of our colleagues in this podcast will probably have bought it by the end of the episode.
Well, that would be great.
Wish list.
I think it's a game worth trying. So, okay. So back to the whole prime set thing. So the attributes, there are examples inside the book of different things, and it just so happens that one of the examples is a swashbuckling type game with pirates. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a really good list of attributes to use. And you can change it. You can do anything low as like 3 attributes up to as most as like 6 or 7 attributes, depending on what you really want out of the game. So this game does take a lot of thought to mold it into what you want. I even, going through like making the character sheet that I made, I even changed my mind on several different things, because looking at the sheet is like, well, this doesn't flow, this doesn't look right, this is redundant. So I did end up going around and changing a bunch of things from when I started. So we got attributes. Underneath attributes, I added roles instead of skills. So basically, there are 4 roles. There's commander, medic, pistolier, and soldier. And those are basically, think of them as like a skill group. So anything you think a commander can do probably falls under commander. And then you'll have a rating next to that, and that's the dice that you'll add to your dice pool when you want to do something that a commander would do, or if you want to do something that a medic would do. So there's not any like hard like line saying, I want to do this thing, I don't have the skill, I can't do it. Now, you can do it, but depending on how you're evoking it through your roles, or invoking it through your roles, it'll determine what kind of dice rating you can have. Let's see here. To complement the roles, I did add in specialties. So specialties was a very, very difficult thing. When I started playing Cortex, I started with Marvel Heroic role-playing, and it has like 50 specialties.
It just occurred to me, I don't want to interrupt you, but it just occurred to me that if we could show, is there any way we can show the sheet on the screen, Ken?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
All right.
I just thought it might be a cool thing to be able to show people a little bit about
Rich will just hold it up.
Or you could look at Rich's little camera down there on the side and see kind of what he's talking about, because he was canny enough to print it out. He had paper.
He did have
really
paper.
pretty.
And
I actually printed out 2 of them, one to hang on my wall.
There we go.
Oh,
does it show it up?
there you go. And there you can see the attributes there on the right, the roles, and then the specialties down across the bottom.
Yeah. So okay.
And this is the whole character sheet, right? This one.
Yeah,
page.
that's the entire character sheet, just 1 page. So under specialties, you'll see there's 9 different ones. There's acrobatics, which is anything from run, jump, climb, anything you would do athletically. Cloak and dagger is more like deceit, politics, different things like that. Let's see here.
Intrigue and spy crafting.
Right. Yep. So gadgeteering is if you're good at making things. Gambling is your understanding of luck and chance and your ability to control the odds into your favor. Menace is your ability to intimidate or instill fear in others. Psych is your understanding of the mind. It can be used twofold. You can use it to get into your opponent's head, or you can use it to help one of your party members going through emotional issues, if they have like a psychotic break or something. Let's see here. Seafaring is basically, you know how to rig and navigate ships. I also attribute like rope use in here, because sailors know like 30 different knots. That's kind of the thing with that. Science is your understanding of 17th century chemistry, physics, and medicine. So
I'm making gold.
I mean, alchemy definitely falls under there. It absolutely does. So alchemy, chemistry, all that kind of stuff kind of falls in under that. And swashbuckling, I decided to make swashbuckling a strictly combat specialty because I added acrobatics as its own specialty.
Sure.
So if you're going to do something flashy or combat related, you would roll swashbuckling instead of acrobatics. So you're going to swing the rope over to hit somebody with your sword, you're going to use swashbuckling instead of acrobatics.
Cool. This makes sense.
And you'll see right above the skills, or I'm sorry, specialties, there's multi-tiers. So you got trained, D6, expert, a D8, or you can opt to roll that D8 as 2 D6s instead. And then master's D10, which could be rolled as 2 D8s or 3 D6. That's your choice when you build your dice pool. The more dice you have, obviously, the more numbers you get. But it also increases the number of chances you can roll ones. And in this game, ones are called hitches, and they're usually not good for you. If I roll them, they are good for you. If you roll them, they are good for me. One of the things I really like about Cortex is that it has something in it called the Doom Pool. And in this game, we're going to start at a Doom Pool of 2d6.
Okay.
So
sounds very menacing.
It grows. That's why yes. So as you guys roll ones, it will add more dice to my pool, or I can bump the dice up. So I can make D6s into D8s, D8s into D10s, or D10s up to D12s. It kind of hard lines at D12s. So I use the Doom Pool in all opposition against you guys. So if you're doing something that doesn't have an opponent, then I would just roll 2d6 or 2d8 or something, depending on the difficulty, and then I would spend dice from the Doom Pool to add into it.
Okay.
If you guys are rolling ones, I can give you plot points to get more Doom Pool dice. That's basically how that works. So you get plot points, I get more Doom Pool. All right, and the last thing that I need to mention here is distinctions. Think of distinctions as fate aspects, where the better the distinction, the more double-sided it can be. If you use it to your benefit, you roll as a D8. If you use it to your detriment, you roll it as a D4, and you gain a plot point because you chose to hinder yourself.
Okay.
Mechanically, anyway. So there's some way you'd want to justify that in the situation in order to make the story what you want it.
Yes, this is a narrative game. So justification, all that kind of stuff does come with building your dice pool. And as we get into situations where you have to build your dice pool, we'll go through it, one by one, so what distinction do you want to use? What specialty, what, attribute, what role, that kind of stuff. That all that stuff gets added together. And then you roll your dice pool against me as the opposition, and we figure out the outcome. So the first distinction, this is something you guys need to think about for character creation, is your life before. So before you became a musketeer, whether it was a farmer, whether it was a mercenary, whether it was some kind of doctor of some sort, maybe you were just nobility and you got bored. That is something that you need to figure out where you come from. And you'll see underneath of it, it has two different what are called special effects. Hinder, which is the default. That's the one I told you about. If you use it as a D4, then you get the plot point. Otherwise, it's always a D8. And then I added another one called correlation. So when if you spend a plot point, you can step up an attribute. What that means is you can change the attribute rating up 1. So if you're rolling a D6 attribute, you would roll it as a D8. If you're rolling a D10, you roll it as a D12. It doesn't go above D12 though. But the way that character creation starts, you won't have a D12 to start with.
Okay.
Later on, you could use experience points and different things and build your stuff up. But that's not the focus of this game. This is a one shot, just something I kind of put together and hope it works.
It looks good.
And then the second thing you have is your approach or attitude. So I'm taking this out of the Trail of Cthulhu kind of thought, like, and also like Fate Accelerated. So how do you approach the situation, or what kind of attitude do you have? What kind of drive does your character have to do the things that he does? And if you look in the character sheet guidelines that all the members have, it gives you some examples. And I'm not going to go through each one of those. I can post a link here. It is shareable. So let me post the link into.
Where you're talking about the approach or attitude part.
Well, I'm the whole document. I'm putting the Google Doc into the
You're sharing it
stream
with
chat.
the universe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
So
what
that,
have you done?
And at the very bottom of that document is a link to that character sheet. So
Cool beans.
It doesn't give you all of the rules, but it does give you page examples. So if you do buy the book or the PDF, you'll be able to reference what you need to reference. So in this game, we need to build the 2 distinctions. The last one all for one, one for all. That's just a given. Everyone has that one. The Musketeer motto.
Kind of
which
a
was
theme.
actually only a thing in the book, but it got popular, so we're using it.
It looks like that's a good way for us to screw each other over and say, "Hey, I'm gonna take a plot point. We're gonna suck it up."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna say like, "I'm gonna do something foolhardy, all for one, one for all." You know, I'm gonna screw everyone over. We're gonna. Do
I was trying to decide if the approach or attitude of if the list includes ennui.
It does.
I'm just trying to decide if that incorporates the idea of being of that befalling you and being beholden to that, or trying to fight that.
That could be that. That's absolutely your choice. If you want your character to be, stuck in that, then you can just role play him as that's how this is happening. If you want to fight it, then by all means, you can make it. I mean, I pulled that because I thought it was a very interesting kind. That I found that one in Trail of Cthulhu,
which makes a lot of sense in that kind of game.
It does. But as this being an investigative game, I figured
with a lot of hopelessness and stuff. Yeah, because I was thinking about that whole kind of needing meaning, needing something to kind of push you or make things matter to you.
And on the converse, where things should matter, you kind of feel, all right, I'm just not going to deal with this. I like it.
And yeah. So, but like I said, like when you're building your die pool, you're choosing the distinction you want to use. You're not always going to say, "I'm using my ennui." You have the choice to use your life before. You have the choice to use all for one, one for all. Ennui is not something that's always present, though you can role play it that way. So if you want, we can come back to the distinction. Just think about those things.
I got them.
You got what? Has everyone picked one, or decided what they want to use?
On the approach,
I've got an idea forming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know where I'm going.
Because I think that idea of needing some kind of excitement to fight off despair is pretty powerful.
I'm gonna go with curiosity.
Me too.
Oh,
Only a different
I
background.
wonder why.
For my background, I think my life before, I think I'm going to go with an actor, dramatist personnel.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That explains the ennui.
Yeah, exactly. Life has no meaning.
Somebody just wants attention.
Auguste David Courtois. I am very French.
As are we all.
As are we all. Even if we do not sound like it.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're better at that than I am.
I'm gonna offend so many people.
My apologies to the entirety of France and Montreal.
I am going to do my best to pronounce all of these French names in the way that they need to be pronounced. I actually had several people that I'm Facebook friends with. Actually, I gave them a list of both male and female names and had them read them off and send that to me, just so I could.
You got coaching? See, we weren't going to make fun of you.
Coaching.
But now that you got coaching, we're going to make fun. No.
Oh, I'm going to mess it up. And I told him, I was like, I'm doing this. Hopefully, I don't butcher it too badly.
Whole world is watching. No pressure.
The whole world.
Yeah, like 4 people.
Yeah. I don't know. Our viewer number is set to 9, but I'm pretty sure half of them are people in this room.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I posted a link. So.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards like someone who was previously like a struggling artist.
I'm going for the third son of a minor noble.
There you go.
I was going for the second son of a minor noble, but
oh, he went up to you.
Are you brothers?
Stupid brothers here.
Fucking A, man. Somehow we got stuck in the same group. This is kind of ridiculous.
Dude, we were assigned to the same outfit.
I literally crossed out second and wrote third over.
Oh,
because I realized second was too high.
Right,
I wanted to have no responsibility.
Is the third one the one that gets sent to the church?
Unless... you asked too many questions.
Oh my gosh.
I think I would have been more head into the military as the second son. First son's got to stay home. Second one's going to go into the military.
Is that a battlefield commission?
Probably. And then, oh hey, your little brother's around here. Can you can you watch him for us?
Hey, he just showed up and we don't know what to do with him, so you're getting him.
Everything he does is on you.
We tried sending him to the military too. They sent him back.
Are we making that canon where we're actually brothers? That's kind of cool, though.
I mean, I'm okay with it if you want to. I'm good with
That
it.
could be fun.
As long as it doesn't break canon, I'm cool.
I was poking fun at it, so you guys do what you want to.
It's better than our fiasco grouping.
Oh, come on. Those are always so fun and interesting.
So I think my attitude is going to be righteousness. I think everything I'm doing is the right thing. So
there you go.
That could.
Oh, that's perfect for, rolling a d4 with.
I am right. Suck it up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, so under approach and attitude, you'll see that hinder special effect. There's also a inquisitive special effect. So if you spend a plot point, you can re-roll all of your dice if it's for investigating clues or secrets in a scene.
If you somehow tie it to your approach.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, guess it's good curiosity's our approach then, huh?
Seems relevant with investigative.
I cannot wait to see what he types in as a name.
I know. I'm like bated breath. It's like, what's he putting in there? What does Rich have to conform to?
Or does Richard already have a name?
Maybe he's the third son because it was
not legitimate.
Fair.
That is slander, and I'll have you take that back.
Let's see if I can do.
There we go. So I made mine third son of a minor noble, and then I put the church after it because apparently I spent some time there before I asked too many questions.
In this era, asking questions of the church is not a smart idea.
That's why
True.
he's back with us.
we are in the Renaissance era. The king is doing a lot to undermine the church and push science, but it is slow going.
How much historical?
As much as we want. It doesn't have to be very historical at all. I did go with it being King Louis the 13th.
13th?
Yeah. And I went with Cardinal Richelieu.
Richelieu? Nice.
Yep. And and Queen Anne, obviously, of Austria.
Yeah. Right.
Married to King Louis. And then the son, this is the point where King Louis the 14th was born. Or Louis the 14th was born. So at this point, he's an infant. So, but that's about it.
Before he had a secret twin brother that was secreted away and put in a mask somewhere. Yeah, that's all. Yet to come. Yeah, that's all yet to happen.
Probably won't happen in this game.
Oh no, that's good. I don't know if I'm vigorous enough for that.
All right. I went with Christoph.
Crystal.
Very nice.
Christoph.
So yeah, we got
Crystal.
Renee.
Chris. I'm Christopher. Christopher.
And Christoph.
It's Christoph.
Bernard is the last name. Bernard.
Yeah. Got to get that guttural R in there.
Change my screen name for the name I found. Name generators are going really well for me today.
Oh yeah, I used the generator. I did 30 male and 30 female names.
Very nice, very nice.
All right. Cool. So has everyone filled in all their distinction slots?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and move over to attributes or attributes, whatever you want to call it.
I think that one's pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
So for your attributes,
attributes.
Attributes.
Just trying different stuff now. It's all good.
Yeah. Just too much experiment. Too much experiment.
Rein it back in.
We're going.
So
taking it back.
Just so you guys get an idea of what I'm going for with the choice of the attribute names. For courage, I went with your ability to control your fear. Faith is your confidence or strong belief in an ideal. Guile is your cleverness. It can sometimes be dishonest. So using it dishonestly is not going to be a detriment to you. Reason is your ability to think and make judgments, especially based on practical facts. And vigor, your strength or energy to keep going. So like stamina or something like that. But I thought vigor was a better word choice for this. So you get to pick 3 of them at a D8 and 2 of them at a D6. Now, before you commit to circling anything, you can step up any of them, but then you have to step 1 down. So if you want to step up a D8 to a D10, one of your other D8s or D6s need to be stepped down. You can't go any lower than a 4. You can't go any higher than a D10.
Okay.
And a D4 used in this fashion does not gain you a plot point. It just means you really suck at it.
Yeah. Okay. Now I get what that means. Okay. All right.
It was 3, 8, and 2, 6.
3, 8, and 2, 6.
Wonderful. Oh, now I see that in the note paper. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mm.
But then I could do a 10, an 8, and 3 6s.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Or you can, if you really like, you know what? I don't really care about faith. I'm going to drop that to a D4.
Yeah.
You can do that too and keep your other 8.
My father would disown me. Again.
Maybe that's why you're here.
Not again.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, my. Oh, dear. Here we are.
Mm.
Oh.
This part's a little tougher.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with just doing the 3d8s and 2d6s.
No, you're making me think about my character. I like it. I like it a lot.
He's like seeing me fill up my sheet here.
I'm enjoying you filling out your sheet. Oh, no. Don't mark anything in shaken yet.
Oh, okay. I see this. I see.
That's for a lack of a better term, it's a stress track.
Okay.
As you gain shaken, it's dice that the opponent can use against you.
Okay.
If you use that attribute against them. And once you get one of your shaken past the die rating that you currently have, so if you had reason D6 and you took a shaken attribute at D6, if it got bumped up to a D8, you'd be taken out of the scene. That's called stricken.
Okay.
All right.
Right. So if everyone is okay, we can move on to rolls.
I believe so.
All right. Rolls is very similar. Again, you get a D10, a D8, a D6, and a D4 to choose among those 4. So again, a D4 in this fashion does not get you a plot point when used. Commander, think about, are you used to giving or receiving orders? Medic, something you can think about is, have you ever needed to patch anyone up? Did you spend any time learning medicine from an apothecary or a doctor? Pistolier is, how well can you shoot a gun? And soldier is, how well can you fight, ride a horse, guard something, or guard someone? Those kind of questions. Not limited to. Those are just examples I came up with.
As one does.
Here's the question. Are we needing to have this kind of balanced out as far as the group goes, or does it not necessarily matter? Like, should we be doing this in a group discussion?
You know, I'm going to say you don't have to. It probably doesn't hurt it, but I really don't think that you need to have, like, if you're referring to like Fear the Boots, like group template kind of thing, we don't need to do anything like that.
Okay.
You guys should feel free to build whatever you want to build.
Okay.
And then
I just wasn't sure if we would need someone to be like a commander at a D10 and someone to be a medic at a D10 and such what so forth.
That's almost kind of min-maxing, which isn't necessarily something you need to do in this game.
Cool. That's all I needed to know. Just wanted to make sure.
As long as we work together, we will figure it out. Or some other reasonable nonsense.
Or some other reasonable nonsense.
Richard's just full of reasonable nonsense, so.
I do take a reason at 10.
All right. So Are we good to move on to specialties?
Uh-huh.
All right. So there are 9 different specialties. However, you only get to choose a couple of those. So you're going to get to pick 1 out of D10, 2 out of D8, and 2 out of D6. Any specialty that is not rated, your character does not know.
Ah.
And by that, I mean, it's a specialty. So you're just not, like the basic roll amount. Like if you're doing something soldiery, you know how to do it as a soldier, but you don't get to add in the specialty benefit.
Fair enough.
Which way did I
So
go?
when building your dice pool, you're always going to add in a distinction. You're always going to add in an attribute. You're always going to add in a roll. You're only going to add in specialties when they apply.
Party of medics.
Medic.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Did we get 110, 2 8s, 2 6s?
1 8, 110. 1 8. I'm sorry. 110, 2 8s, and 2 6s. You get 5 total. So there's a lot of range. I mean, there's only going to be 4 specialties that you won't have anything listed in.
Yeah.
And as a friend of mine I was kind of bouncing ideas off of, he's like, when you're done with this Musketeer game, if you want to change just a couple things, you're going to totally have a pirate game. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You just change a couple of specialties around.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Totally see that.
I mean, Musketeers are just land pirates, right?
Right.
We are commissioned. Doop, doop, doop. Doot, 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 doot.
Go.
Excuse me.
Kender Mage. Arg, it'd be a pirate game in disguise.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
They never do. Just never do.
Did anybody not put their D10 in swashbuckle?
I did not.
I did not. I did not put anything in swashbuckle.
Oh,
He's a shoe.
a swashbuckling game, and you didn't choose swashbuckle. Bold choice.
Weird.
What's that? Cloak and dagger, right? That's at your.
I'm sure you chose Cloak and Dagger.
I did have cloak and dagger selected, yes.
She's going for the politics, the mind games. All right.
Shit.
And I know that Ken has a name written. Has everyone else picked a name for their characters? You don't have to do last
Yes.
names. We can just do first names.
Oh, my last name was easy to figure out. I just looked at Ken's sheet.
I know.
You could have hyphenated it with something else.
The scandal.
Wow, those are all great soap opera names.
What do you think this is? The 7th century?
I don't think so.
So, has everyone finished their character?
I believe so.
Or the
think
basic
so.
layout of the
Yeah.
character, I guess.
I think. Yes.
Richard
Alright, so-
plagiarizing never.
What?
In the chat.
So we'll start with since Ken has his sheet up and everyone can see it. We'll start with Ken, and we'll just kind of give us. I mean, we can all see the sheet, but give us kind of a background of Renee. Like, what helped you? What informed your choices here? So,
well, Renee, being the second son of a lesser noble, typically the first one stays around, the second one goes into some sort of military service, and the third one, well, we try not to talk about him.
There's a third one.
So he did pretty well in the military. Obviously, I think there's plenty of military conflict going around in Western Europe at the time.
Oh yes, at this point, Spain is a big problem.
Yeah.
Especially since they, what is it? I forget.
I looked it up this
But anyway,
afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I have so much information crammed in my head. I can't remember other things anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd say fairly decorated and somewhat well known for leading some troops into battle and stuff. I think I have my commander at a D8, so kind of some experience leading and organizing military troops. Probably defeated, 5, 10, 20, 50 guys at one time, in some combat. So the stories kind of went around the ranks and stuff, and he gained a little bit of, say, recognition at that point. Whatever their particular unit that he was serving in was successful in their mission, and so he's come back and maybe had some downtime, and then that's when he kind of got invited in, I guess, to join with the Musketeers, as he obviously had good military experience, handy with the blade, and can definitely take care of himself.
Okay, so you were sought out to join. You didn't find them and try to join.
Right. Yeah. There's more. Actually, gain a little bit of notoriety. He's well known for.
Came to find you.
Yeah. Obviously, well known for. If he kind of believes in a cause, that he believes in it wholeheartedly, and that's kind of the way he kind of directs himself. So, obviously, pulling him in to be a protector of the king and get him on your side can be a powerful tool for those at that point. Almost I want to say he's loyal to a fault, but he's definitely going to have to think long and hard before breaking any vows or anything of that sort.
Well, he has his righteousness to contend with there.
So. Yeah.
All right. Vanessa.
Yes.
We can't see your sheet, so how about you give us the rundown of all the stuff that you chose and a little bit of background about your character.
I have Alphonse, who was previously an artist. Ahead of his time, no one understood his work. There wasn't any money in it, so joined the Musketeers.
He was good with a sword, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, good enough. But he's really smart, and he likes to, or at least he thinks he's smart. I'm not sure that he necessarily is, but he likes to think he is. Creative and kind of knows where to put the blade to maybe cause more creative damage.
Okay.
I did go with higher ranks in medic, and medic and soldier were my two higher ones.
Okay.
And just to kind of give him something to base on. And I had cloak and dagger was my high one. Acrobatics and psych were the 8s, and gambling and science were the 6s.
All right. And what was your character's name? Alphonse?
Yep.
Alphonse. Okay. All right, Rich, how about you?
All right. Well, I am playing Christophe Bernard. I am the third son of a minor noble. I had originally went off to the church, asked too many questions, was a little too nobly. It was eventually decided I could do more good work for the world out in the world. Because I was starting to get other people to ask questions too. So to avoid temptation, I went out and studied stuff, science, and still trained with my pistol. And I'm actually more pistol-y than even sciencey. But I do a lot of sciencey work and swashbuckling, and I know gadgets and science. But I know my way around a fight because Dad taught us well.
That he did.
And what was your character's name?
Christoph.
Christoph.
Kristof. Christoph.
All right.
It is a great uncle's name.
Okay. How about you, Eric?
So I like the way this is spelled. Okay. So I am Auguste David Courtois. Auguste was a actor, a player with the Fortier de la Garde Théâtre de Marveleux, Fortier de la Garde's Theater of Wonders, out of Paris, and acting was the entirety of his life. He was born into the craft. He believed it what he would do until the day that he died. And there was a period during which the troupe was traveling with the show, and the great love of his life, Camille Monnier, was killed in they said it was when she was trampled by horses when a carriage got loose and ran off, but there were reasons to think that there was foul play involved. He sought what he thought of as justice. It turned out to be more like revenge in the eyes of the law. He ended up kind of getting out of that situation before anybody had a chance to put any irons on him, and managed to spend every penny that he had made at that point to make sure and keep his name clear. Then he joined the Musketeers in order to find a way to give him in his life some kind of purpose.
Okay.
I figures as a King's Musketeer, he can make up for whatever he might have lost and maybe find some way to either give some meaning to his life or end it quickly.
Very tortured character.
Yeah.
I don't do tortured. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're taking a note from Jonica's book.
She doesn't do tortured either. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
All right. So
I am, but I'm doing it in French, which she would never do. Oui?
Oh, yeah. So I think we are done with character creation.
Okay.
So we want to take that break.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shut down the feed for a couple of minutes, and we want to make sure and stop it completely so that we can have this loaded as a separate video restreamed. So everybody stick around for a few minutes, and that'll give everybody a chance to take a quick bio break if they need to. I'm going to refill my soda. See everybody in a couple minutes.